See you in there. They finally have it at this building right now. Where we used to have our meetings. We used to get locked out. They started.
Yeah, it's only less than 1%. It's very minor.
Yeah,
But
because
it's,
all the surrounding towns have a percentage.
yeah, it's completely distributed by the state, so they pay their taxes to the state and then they just allocate it accordingly.
I mean, that's good that surrounding city.
We don't have much, but it's around here.
Any additional questions on page 1? All right, hearing none, we're going to go to page 2. Page 2 concludes the portion of the revenue for our general fund. There are 2 sections on here that I will talk through a little bit. Towards the middle of the page, there's a line that says total revenues. And if you look off to the right, it has revenues of about $24,231,000 and some change. This is the section that will that shows how much money our general fund will get from our day-to-day normal operations. If you'll note, we can look back to our actuals from the previous year, which were at 22 million. But then I will also bring us back to the actuals for the year before, which was about 24 million. So this budget that we are proposing is something that is in line with prior years. We did see a dip last year, and a lot of that dip came from uncollected business licenses that were not being processed properly. Other fines and fees, our court was down for a few months because of challenges we were having, and all those are being reinstated. So what we're looking at for our day-to-day operations is revenue at a level that we've already achieved. Now, when we go down a little bit further, it has our what I would consider one-time uses or one-time revenue items. The larger 2 being the bond sale as well as the sale of fixed assets. And that adds an additional $2.6 million and gives us to the bottom line number for revenue in the general fund of just short of 27 million. The bond is something that we have with Homewood Disposal. That's what pays for the garbage collection and garbage pickup. That's a bond that we have had well over 10 years, and every year we do an annual renewal. This year, because of our cash condition, we've had to increase that. Prior years, when it first came out, there was a $1.4 million bond taken out. We got to a place of reducing it for some years, but this year we needed to do an increase, so that's why we see the amount larger on our Homewood Disposal bond. And it is the direction of this board, to my knowledge, that we will again begin gradually decreasing that year over year. The $558,000 is the sale of the cell tower lease that was recently voted on by the board, and that's revenue that will be coming in within the next 2 months. So, having talked that through, I'll ask pause right here to see if there are any questions from anybody on page 2.
Yes. The red light fees, that's pretty high, isn't it? The budget is, are we really looking for our revenue? It seems like that's what we're really looking for, our revenue to come from, is the red light fees.
Well, no, the red light fees, so there's a couple of components to it. The red light fees are pretty much in line with previous years. The reality is if people are non-compliant, revenue comes from that. So it's not a target at people saying, oh, we must get this amount of money. It's a reality that in this particular location, people are not compliant, and because of that, we get tickets. Second part of that is when we talk about where we're primarily looking to get our money from, the largest line of income that comes from our operating budget is our property tax collection. So the red light fees, I would say, comprise less than 10% of our revenue for the village. So it's not a target, it is a compliance issue, and it also does have revenue associated with it. Nathan, you had a question? I'm sorry, Mr. Lee.
We need to get some stoplight fees. I mean, stop sign fees.
Well,
I'm serious.
I'll stop, so I will,
Stop sign fees.
there are fees in here or revenue associated with tickets. I will say, we are not putting in any mandates or ticket mandates or follow-up. The tickets are strictly about compliance. So right now, we know that people are running through the stop signs. We know we're going to get it, but that is not the emphasis or focus on this budget. It's just a reality that we know ticket revenue will be coming because in different cases, people are not compliant.
So we'll have more police presence in order to get the stop.
Increased police presence is mandatory, and I think that's some of the things you've seen. The board has put high emphasis on our ability to increase the number of officers because with us previously having less officers, we didn't have the bodies out there to write those tickets at
That's
this time.
very true, and that's why I think it's mostly coming from the red light fees, because I know it's manned by the police.
Yes, but we did.
Individually, not by a system.
Well, that one is still, even the system you have to have a body that reviews it when it comes through. So it still does take some manpower, but it doesn't take as much. But again, we want to emphasize that ticket revenue is primarily about compliance and getting people to follow the laws the way they're written up.
While you're on the subject of fees, you all have numbers on the percentage of people that actually buy city stickers every year. Do you have is it 10%, 20%, 30%? And the last I heard was pretty low. And are there any plans to bring that to full compliance as far as all of the city stickers are concerned? I don't know, probably maybe might not be a lot of money, but still, money
yes.
just floating around. The same people support the system every year.
Yes, we do. We do have data on that, so we'll make sure that we follow up and get those hard numbers to you. We would compare the number of stickers sold to the list that we get every year of all vehicles registered in the village. So, but that'll give us the starting point. And yes, there will be more compliance. That's another area that we have to unfortunately rank. I shouldn't say unfortunately, realistically rank tickets on.
Yes, when you say fixed assets, could you explain that more into detail to me?
I'm gonna ask. Go ahead.
So fixed assets is kind of an accounting term for any type of big, like say equipment, building,
Right.
land, etc. So there was a sale of, they were cell towers, right?
Okay,
That the village sold off, so we're getting the revenue from selling those off.
okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I just wanted to know what were the fixed assets that
Oh,
were, that
cell
you're
towers.
talking about. I knew what fixed assets were.
Yeah.
Okay. Any additional questions on page 2?
What are the reimbursements that are listed? You've got several reimbursements on there. That's money we're paying?
You said the workers' comp reimbursement? Wait, which line item?
You got workers' comp reimbursement, you got insurance reimbursement, you got Indulux reimbursement.
Oh, I see.
I'm just saying, is that money we pay out?
Well, this part is our revenue, so that's money that we collect.
We collect from them.
I am gonna
They owe us a
ask-
reimbursement. Okay.
Okay.
Our finance team to expand a little bit.
Yeah, so this would be for any type of reimbursement, not necessarily from residents, but from like our workman's comp insurance, our, any type of MFT reimbursement. It has to do not necessarily with residents, but just the different organizations.
So they all owe us money.
Every so often, it's one of those that it all depends on what happens. So we always like to throw some money in there because there's always a chance of them owing money over the next year. And we try to keep it consistent with what's been in the past. So that's where those numbers came from.
Any additional questions on page 2? I hear none. I'll to page 3. This is where we begin the expense portion for our general fund. This shows the expenses for our administrative department, general administration, which is mostly here at Village Hall. And it compares this year to previous years. I'll pause and see from the board members any questions on this page. Hearing none, I'll ask for community residents, any questions on page 3? I think we can all be finance experts in a moment. We're on my time. Okay, we're gonna go towards page 4, still in the general fund. This will show expenses for the media center and the clerk's office.
Can I back up? I'm sorry,
Oh,
I
page 3.
hadn't read it. I hadn't read it. Page 3.
Yes, ma'am.
It said, salaries retro, does that mean we're all caught up with the retro since I see nothing there?
So each department, we're in the general administration department. So administration, there's no retro money, but in each department, there'll be a breakdown of retro
Okay.
for that
All right.
department.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to page 4, which is media center and the village clerk's office. Any questions from the board on this page? If not, I'll open up for questions from the community. This is our chance to put the clerk on the spot. Okay,
Yeah, that's in other contractual services.
I think we should just.
Okay, so if you see the 22.5 in there for the clerk's office, that's for codification of the ordinances, that's for our Gov QA system, which track foyers, the mayor took it away, we now put it back in.
the previous
The
meeting.
previous mayor, the previous mayor, took that program away, and that's why we ended up with so many lawsuits on foyers. This system will track foyers from the beginning to end, so we don't lose any because they're not being taken care of. And then we also have money in there for a cloud-based program where we store records called Laserfish, and that's where we store all the documents that come into the clerk's office. You know, we try to do away with paper, so we store as many paper documents in the cloud base. So if people are looking for copies of anything, it's quicker for us to look up ordinances, lawsuits, whatever, if someone needs a copy, it comes into our office.
Thank you for that, clerk. If I hear no additional questions on page 4, we'll be moving towards page 5. This is the expenses for our police department, and so the police department budget, it looks at the bottom right, $7.2 million. I will make a note on here, there is a reduction, of course, in the projected budget for our overtime salaries because we will not be having security details, I promise. However, at our current staffing, overtime is still a requirement, so you will note some adjustments to that particular line. But I'll pause and ask board members any questions on page 5. Trustee Norwood?
I don't have a question, but I would like to commend the trustee Belcher and yourself and everyone on the police committee for the awesome swearing today. I heard Mr. Lee ask, like, hey, well, what about the stop signs? So we did swear in the new chief of police, so everyone drive slow.
To that end, I want to make sure we invite everybody out to the formal swearing in of our new police chief, Jeffrey Chapman, which will be at the next board meeting, September 2nd. He will have family coming in, and we want to make sure that they have a nice, warm and welcome, warm welcome from the Dolton community and continue moving things forward. All right, any questions at all on page 5? Yes, sir, Mark?
Can I go back to page 4 for a minute? I was
Yes, sir.
going by the salary of the village clerk. Did it go from 17,000 to 60,000?
Excuse me?
Am I reading it wrong?
Yeah, I saw
Well,
the 6.
that's actually, so the clerk, that's for the entire clerk's office, so there, that also has the deputy clerk. The village clerk actually falls under the elected officials, which will be on which page is that? Page 3, I
It
believe.
was on page.
Yeah, on page 3 includes all the elected officials, which would be the mayor, clerk, and all trustees.
Gotcha.
Are you questioning, that amount for actuals for 2024? Is that where you got that 17,000 from?
You're right.
So if, I don't know if a lot of you were aware, that the mayor illegally terminated the deputy clerk.
Right.
And that's why that salary is so low for that period. And then we were able to bring her back on board. Okay. Previous mayor, I'm so sorry.
Okay, so we're looking through, any additional questions, page 5? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to page 6. Page 6 being our fire department. Fire department has an approximate budget of $4.3 million. Similar standard expense categories. Pause first to ask the board any questions on this page.
I would just like to say that I am glad that we have gotten to the point where, the contracts were, up to date. I'm sure we'll have to start on the next year, but also just making arrangements and agreements for retro pays to those departments that, needed to be paid. Of course, as we stated, that's why I initially started off saying that I'm happy that everyone was able to work on this budget so diligently, because there's a lot of back owed money that's owed out. So we had to do some creative ways and making sure that everybody was made whole or made arrangements to make them whole so they can move forward and continue to move the community forward. So I am glad to just say that that has been taken priority because it was an issue before.
Thank you very much, trustee. Any additional questions or comments from the board at this time? Any questions from Ms. Mayor?
How many people do we have under our ESTA department? I see they've got,
That's my
looking
70
at this,
grand.
$91,000 salary, or $92,000 salary?
Yep, at this time, we have one person in that department. Is it one?
And
Yeah,
they
we have
still
one.
get-
His salary is split up between two parts.
Two parts, yeah, we have one in that department. There is still more analysis on how we're gonna move forward with that department, but at this time, it's one.
Right now, it's 92 for the one?
No, that's not his salary, that's just the budget, but as the person that is currently, I think you're referring to, salary comes out of two different departments.
Okay.
So it's not just one, out of
Okay.
ESTA.
All right.
So what you're saying is one person doesn't make that amount?
That is absolutely
Correct.
correct.
Okay.
That's just the money that's allocated.
In grant writing on page 5, excuse me, I noticed that it was nothing on there. Are we not gonna have a grant writer, or it's not budgeted?
We have not budgeted for one at this time, though.
Keep up, Natalie.
I don't know what you mean by keep up,
Cause we on page 7.
but I know that we are, but I saw page 5 and I wanted to ask a question. Yes. Now we're on page 7.
Okay.
Jesus.
So we're gonna go to page 6. Page 6 being our.
Everybody messed up.
See how y'all make me nervous. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go. Well, I ain't come here to answer all these questions. Oh, that way. Page 7. Page 7 being the finance department in the beginning of the public works expenses. Nothing I would say to highlight on here. Any comments or questions, board members?
Let's get to page 8.
There's a storm coming.
Okay. Any questions for from the community or residents? All right, hearing none, we'll do page 8, right? Page 8. We're going to page 8 next, being the balance of expenses for the Public Works Department, showing a $2.3 million budget for Public Works, Property and Preservation Engineer, and the Permits and Licensing Department, all on this page. Any comments, questions, board members? Any comments or questions from residents? Yes. Ms. Beth?
What type of, process do you do to get a discount on all the office supplies of all the departments?
Well, we do have, as everybody knows, we do have an Amazon account. We do have to make sure that, Amazon business account. We have to centralize, well, we do have centralized purchasing or procurement. That process has to also be, I don't want to say revamped, but we have to put more emphasis on it. Right now, we are still staffing up. We did bring in an accounts payable person as well, so that way we can have more eyes looking things through more thoroughly. But that is part of the process.
Sounds good.
And Clerk Keith has a.
So there's only, two areas that can order, and one is managed by the village administrator, and then the clerk's office has its own area for Amazon, which, when you have a business account, supplies are cheaper.
Okay.
Because you're purchasing as a business versus an individual.
Any additional questions on page 8? Yes, Dan?
I may not have found what I've been looking for. Is there an increase in the amount, would that be in this section, the amount of money that's going to be spent on roads and so forth? Would that be here in this section, or would that be somewhere else?
That'll be scattered a little bit throughout. Lauren, which page has that one?
So a lot of the road stuff would go under MFT funds. Just because we get the village gets state money from motor fuel tax, so whenever you're, putting gas in your cars, we get some of that money. So typically, big road repairs try to go through the MFT process. Or motor fuel tax process, which would be further down, that would be.
That's what I was trying to find
it's
out.
not-
Where would we find that?
It's on page.
Well, when we get to it.
Page 10.
When we get to it, I thought it might be included as well.
Oh,
Okay. Any additional questions, page 8? All right, hearing none, we'll go page 9, Housing Department, Sanitation Department, and our other financing uses. This shows here the net expenses, about $26.5 million, as well as our projected net surplus, $236,000, based on the figures as entered. I'll see if there's any comments, questions from the board. Any comments, questions from residents?
I hate to be a pet, but
That's what we're here for.
City of Chicago judgment.
That was the judgment that we had a settlement, I'll say it's approaching 8 years ago. Yeah, it's approaching 8 years ago. We are nearing its conclusion, where there were water bills prior to that. So I think we're going 10 to 11 years ago that were going unpaid, and then we had to go into court to get a settlement. It was $8 million that we owed at that time. We structured those payments over about $1 million a year for 8 years, and as long as we stayed current and in good communication, the $4 million of fees and interest would be waived.
Oh, that's wonderful.
All right. Any additional questions? Page 9. Okay, hearing none, we'll go to page 10. Here is the motor fuel tax. So that page 9 concluded our general fund. And that's the primary fund where our money comes from for paying for most village expenses. We're entering it, and motor fuel tax is a different fund, and I'm gonna lean on our finance, I don't want to say director, our finance team at the moment to elaborate on it if there's questions that about the separation of these funds, but this is the motor fuel tax fund. I'll see board members, any questions on this fund? Any questions from the residents?
I got a question, is that a million two in there right now, that's a million?
Yeah, the revenues are at 1,020,000 approximately.
And that's what we can use that for roads and streets and. Okay.
Can you explain the, maintenance, utilities, electricity, that line? I see the 400 over in the trustees change column.
That was from a trustee request.
Utilities, electricity? Yeah, that one was, yeah, I think that was a slight increase because for getting us back towards the FY '24, I think that may have been a little bit, yeah, back in line with the FY '24 actual numbers.
I don't understand that. When you say-
Yeah, so-
I still see an extra 400,000 there. That's what I'm trying to see, what is
Can I
that?
explain?
Oh, yeah, trustee Belcher.
So we had, previous bills from the year 2024 that had not been paid. Those checks that we kept saying, those bills still have to be paid. So we have to have different line items with, whether it be utilities, whether it be something for contractors, that we still had to increase that line item, so those bills that have been approved have to be paid. We're just trying to do it in a way that, because it doesn't put a burden on us to try to pay it all at one time, we have to put them in different line items, like the utility, some of the utilities and electricity, we were backlogged hundreds of thousands of dollars for bills that had to
No,
be
no,
paid.
that's fine, when you
So
say
we-
backlog, that
Yeah, so we
explains.
needed to make sure that we added that in this year's budget to, pay some of these bills.
Thank you.
Yes, sir?
There's nothing in sidewalk maintenance, is that by design? It was in '24, but nothing upcoming.
Sidewalk maintenance?
Sidewalk maintenance, that's 14,00520. I see something for '24, but I don't see anything for '25 in the proposed budget.
You know, we had previously, looks like we had a couple of years.
Yeah, because,
Yeah.
that's what we had the ARPA with.
Yeah, we'll note that and see if we, may wanna look at putting something in there. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so no, that was not, strict attention, no, but we will look at and we'll likely reallocate some funding for the sidewalk maintenance. And we will be repairing sidewalks.
I was gonna let you handle that.
Any additional questions, page 10? All right, we're gonna move into page 11, which is the police pension fund, firefighters pension fund, and public safety. Any questions, comments from the board? Any questions or comments from residents? Okay, hearing none, and most of these funds are generally pretty straightforward, we'll go to page 12, our special income fund, American Rescue Plan, and capital projects fund. Any questions or comments from the board? Questions or comments from residents?
Anything from the upper, left?
So all of the revenues were already received. There's still a cash side of it, but all of the revenues and expenditures have already been reported to the.
So there's nothing left for the upper fund?
Everything's been obligated. So I'll say everything has been obligated already, but all the funds have not been depleted, but they are committed to.
You said everything has been allocated already, but it shows a negative, so we're gonna be in the hole there? So it's only $382,000, still, I hope that, we said $382.
Let's say $382.
That's even better.
Yes.
Okay.
additional, oh, yeah, Dan?
Okay, I see 3 items here under American Rescue Plan. Maintenance, SBC sidewalks, engineering expense, and legal expenses that all had appropriations for 24. One was $482,155, another for $200,000, another for $30,000. Going forward, there are no figures for that whatsoever. What happened to that money?
That grant concluded, it's,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, it's grants?
Yes, that was the ARPA money that we were talking about, that we had already, money had already been allocated.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I said that was the ARPA money that we was talking about, that grant had already been allocated.
Okay.
Then on page 13, our federal forfeiture and state forfeiture funds. Policy, any comments, questions, board? Hearing none, I'll open up for public. Okay, and then we will go to page 14. Page 14 being our foreign tax fund and our TIFs, TIF 1 and 2. Any questions, comments from the board? Open up questions for public.
One of them says 300 West Sibley, and the other one just says Sibley. Is there an address to the second one?
Well, that's actually the name that the fund was created under. So there are, so the TIF itself is named 300. Well, the first one is named 300, but yes, there are geographic areas that we can share with you for the location of those. Okay, if no additional questions on page 14, we will move to page 15. Page 15 having our third Sibley, the Sibley Menards TIF, as well as TIF 3, and our water fund. Now, so the water fund, this is where the adjustment or the increase, and we will pause it because I think the clerk has also shared. I'm almost scared to hold up a picture like this. Our clerk has shared kind of some bar chart demonstrations of where we would be in relation to other surrounding communities. This is pending an approval of the recommendation. So the water fund would have about 6.4 million of revenue based on this proposal. Page 15, I'll pause. Any questions, comments, board?
I would just like to say that with the increase, but we have to, as residents, also just be mindful and understand that we are, I think, Mayor, was it almost like $4 million of back water bills that have not been collected on because we haven't been doing any shut-offs or anything for the last 4 years. So there are over $4 million of just outstanding water bills that we have to collect on. So those are some of our concerns and issues when we start talking about deficits and just trying to obtain the money because it has been so long where it was not collected. So even if just collecting on those outstanding water bills would make a difference of bringing revenues into the community, back into the
And I will also say that there is an increased attention that we're putting on getting actual readings versus the estimated readings, so that we will continue to monitor the stats on what percentages that we're at for actual readings, and that percentage will increase, so we can make sure it's more accurate. And we are still looking for funding to get the digital readers throughout the community. That has been discussed, which is a big project, but that is another item that's for us to move forward. But having said that, any additional questions, comments, board? Community?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
You said there's thousands and thousands of dollars uncollected.
millions.
Millions. Okay,
Yes.
thousands times 10 or 20, whatever. But we're also talking about a rate increase. If you're not collecting what's already out there, in what time frame? Because we're gonna try to collect some of that, because if you go up on them and they already not paying and you can't collect, we're gonna be in a hole still. 'Cause if
So-
I can't pay you $10 now and you raise me $7 more, what makes you think I can pay you 17? Just putting it out there that way. So we're gonna try to collect some of that.
Oh, absolutely. We're looking at a couple of different, we have Municipal Collections of America that will be assisting with the collections of the water rates.
And we're gonna cut people off, right?
We have increased, there have been notifications given to individuals who are past due. We are also setting up payment arrangements for those who are not in a position to pay the full amount of their bill, but they must pay the bill at some capacity. So there will be, it's gonna be a two-pronged approach. We have to collect what's out there, and we also have to make sure that we're able to stay current, because the village receives an increase every year from the city of Chicago on the bill, on the price that they're charging us.
Are we getting more, water readers, because I was expecting one to come to my home on Friday, cause I had that day off, and it was scheduled, and they never showed up. And I don't get those times too often.
Okay, we've hired 2 additional meter readers. We originally had 1 full-time, 1 part-time. Now we have 3 full-time and 1 part-time to increase the number of readings that we have out there. But we can certainly work to reschedule and figure out what happened and why we didn't make it out there on that Friday.
Thank you, sir.
So that the bills won't keep elevating, are we shutting off now? Because if we don't shut off, the bills will continue to rise.
Right.
So
So yes, we've issued warnings, and we're moving towards shut-offs as well. Well, yeah, warnings have definitely been issued. I don't think we've had any shut-off just yet, but we've also got a lot of phone calls coming in because that warning has been heard by many. So God willing, it'll be heard by all, and if not, then the shut-off will occur. Yeah, Commissioner?
When the last time the water department was audited?
Well, that's part of our annual audit, but our annual audits also include the financials for the water. So we do an annual.
I'm talking about just the department itself with the meter reading and the bills and stuff like that. Because a lot of people was getting bills that was outrageous.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, they was reading the numbers wrong.
So that's been it's been more than 4 years since we've had an audit, or I think that's more of a quality control check or testing. But we are reviewing with our new department head for the water department, making sure that things get more thorough, as well as we've been in consultation with a few other communities to share best practices and bring it back over here to all. Any additional questions on page 13?
16.
17?
16.
15, I'm still on turn. Why I keep on changing my page?
We on
Okay,
16.
I was on 15, we're on the beginning of it.
We on 16.
We're on 16, okay, we're going 16. All right, any additional questions, page 16? All right, hearing none, we're gonna go into page 17, which is our sewer fund. Any questions, comments from the board at this time?
Is there stipulations on what we can use this money for, as far as the sewer fund?
Ms. Laura?
Yes, so any of the sewer revenues would have to go towards sewer repairs, anything water, sewer, well, more sewer related.
Right now, is 595,000 there, is that correct?
Yes. And most of it has to do with salaries, because what happens with the public works departments, their salaries get divvied up because they do a little bit of work all the way across the board. So street sweeping to uncover any of the drains, the sewer drains, that can be allocated to sewer. That's why we have a lot of salaries there.
So we can use this money to fix the sewer or the sub truck, the dock truck that cleans out the sewer?
So yes, you'd be able to use them.
Sewer, period.
I'm sorry, but I didn't hear all of that.
Oh.
Because you turned your back, sorry.
Oh, sorry. So the sewer revenues have to be used for any type of sewer related expense. So the salaries that are in there is kind of the allocation between like the public works department, because obviously they're doing street sweeping, they're doing water repairs, which also kind of affects the sewer. So the question was any type of vac truck repairs, could they get paid out of these funds? And I said yes, because that truck is used to, clean the sewers. So I think that covered everything.
Yes, that's a question.
Cause that's something we need
I was
for
gonna say.
at least 15 years. I've had a sewer issue over
Yes, we
150
need
first
all
in
new
Blackstone.
sewers, not
Well,
patches.
And just recently, because I guess the line cracked or broke or something, they finally sent Calumet plumbing out, and they totally replaced it. I'm not sure how I got paid for it, but I thank you. Because I have no more
And
backup
that will,
after
That's what
15
I'm
yeah,
years.
and we'll just, I think we have crumbling infrastructure at this upcoming meeting in September. I've asked Robinson Engineering to pull up some of the assessments that they've done in the past, as well as provide us like the plan or what they can bring to the table so that we can begin sharing what the vision is on which areas have the most need and how we want to work forward on getting that prepared. Yeah, Mark?
Two-part question. Those monies, would that help with the flooding that we have on certain blocks? Because sometimes it be rivers when we talk about the sewer fund. The block is so flooded, water come up to the flood. Would that money help with that as well?
Yes.
And then also, are we getting federal and state help for infrastructure and things to repair?
We get some grants, we need more. So we're actually scouring for other additional grants that can assist.
We were able to get $1 million from this rain ready program that the previous mayor refused to work with this agency to help with some flooding in homes, sewer backups. I stayed in contact with them, so I met with them maybe 2 weeks ago. So we are gonna get that $1 million. There's gonna be an application put on the website that people can apply, for that money. If they have sewer backup, it's just for sewer backup.
Yes.
It's not for, like, just water coming in. It has to be coming through a sink or something like that, like in your laundry room or something, or your toilets. And based on the $1 million that we have, we may be able to help maybe 15 households. I know it's not a lot, but that's a start. That's a start. And I just thank them for hanging in there with us, because they've been trying to give us this money for many years. And it was so unfortunate that, the previous administration wasn't even trying to help based on the flooding that we witnessed, especially in September and July of last year, was it?
Year before
Where
last
people,
September.
furniture was swimming around in their homes, and my block was affected as well.
Yeah.
So this is a start. This is something that we were able to still salvage, just by staying in contact with this agency.
So has there been a date established when that's gonna be on the website?
Well, I'm waiting for them to give me the application price, the criteria to qualify, and all of that will be posted on our website as soon as I get it.
Very good.
I will mention it in a board meeting and coincide the time of the board meeting, but I'm just waiting for them to give me that information.
Very good.
Any additional questions? Ms. Mayor?
I'm gonna digress back to page 16. I apologize. My eyes don't go as fast as you talk. It's the City of Chicago bond payment. I think at one time we had one, and this shows nothing on the line. So does that mean we are no longer with a bond payment to the City of Chicago?
So there were some changes of like accounting standards of how it should be recognized. So it previously was in the water fund, but then they had to move to the general fund. So that's what that City of Chicago.
So it's still in there, just ain't
It's-
there.
Correct.
excited. Thought we didn't know nobody. Thank you.
So we'll be going, any additional questions? Here none, we'll go to page 8. Yes, sir.
So, where does the repair or resurfacing of alleys fall in?
That will also be MFT, in our MFT funding. Yes, the MFT fund.
Okay.
And we'll be going to page 18, which is our recreation center, formerly Melanie Fitness Center. Again, I'm not going to talk about this place. There is, as well as 2 of our bond funds, which were bond series that were taken out in 2009. There is currently interest, and we're in discussion with, there's one company that we're in firm discussion with. There is a second person that has interest in leasing from the village the fitness center to reopen it as a fitness center.
Awesome.
So, God willing, everything goes the way we anticipate, that will be reopened, and it'll be revenue coming into the village, as well as repairs that need to happen in order to bring it back to its useful status.
Is it a established, known, entity or whatever that's looking like,
It's not a franchise or a chain, no.
okay. No, it's not, okay. Right.
Yes.
Awesome.
Any comments, questions from the board? Comments? Yes, sir.
What's it going to cost to get that police sign off there before somebody runs up in there and get their heads going on?
I think the price was about, how much was that, 15? $17,000.
Wow.
To remove it.
We're going to buy her to do that, or you going to do a GoFundMe page?
Well,
Let the
my desire would be that we conclude this and we're able to get that as part of our negotiation taken care of. But if not, then we will have to come up with funds to get that fixed. The police sign, the sign that's on the building.
Will it go back to the Melanie Fitness Center?
If
we're able to get
our
that
desire
done?
is to lease it out to
It'll be
an
their name.
organization that will have
Okay.
it, yes.
But at least it won't be the police.
Any additional questions, comments at this time? On page 18.
Is the roller rink
We're down our last 2 pages.
Is the ice rink considered, recreation?
No, well, it's not on this, budget itself, no.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and we're coming to our final page, page 19, the additional third bond that was taken out in 2009, as well as homeowner disposal bond. Any comments or questions from the board?
So our water went up, but not our, garbage collection with homework.
So this portion is actually the fund that we established to make sure that we're collecting enough money to pay the bond and issue payments accordingly.
I do want to circle back to, I know next year, I know we passed the recreation, but the ice skate rink is still sitting over there. It's something I would like to, us as a board, go to the community, come up with a plan to something. We're getting things straight this year, but next year, come up with some type of plan to do something with it. Because it's a nice, if you ever go over there, it's very expensive, but it's something that we could possibly do an intergovernmental agreement with the park district and do something. Because I notice a lot of people, sometimes people just go over there and they skate, they party, but we have to do something with it. So maybe next year we'll come up with a plan for that. But it's definitely, we right past everything. So I want to come up with a plan to do something over there.
As a ice skating or a rink?
I don't know what the plan would be, but I'll plan.
Okay. Yeah, no, so we will develop that further.
I hope you get input from us.
Okay. Well, if that concludes the questions for page 19, we have reached the conclusion of our budget discussion. I'll pause and say I want to thank everybody for coming out and any questions regarding the budget or any concerns that people have between now and the next board meeting, I'm certain all board members will be accessible, as well as myself. So if there anything that did come up at this time, we still have 2 more weeks to further expound and develop it. So, having said that, I'm going to ask Clerk Keith I'll ask if we have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
There a motion by Trustee Belcher, second by Trustee Norwood. I'll ask Clerk Keith for a roll call.
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes. Meeting adjourned at 7:31 p.m.
Look at the rain. Oh my God, let me put my paper inside my coat. Oh my God, my car is over there. Oh my God, this is where the mental health is gonna be, right here in that building right there with the light on. Yes, with the lights on and the flowers. Oh my God, I got to run. I gotta put my papers inside my coat. Hey you guys, I'm trying to put my papers inside my coat so they don't get wet. I'm gonna get wet. I'm gonna get wet. I gotta get ready to go for it. I gotta get ready to go for it. It's raining. Oh my God. I hope don't no water get in my house because it's raining pretty heavy. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, get ready. Go, go, go. Oh my God. Oh my God, look how much water is on the ground. Oh, Jesus. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta get out of here. Oh, it's pouring down. Oh my God. Hope my feet don't get wet. Oh, shit, that's lightning. Oh my God. Oh my God. Woo! I don't know what's going on. We having storms here. Oh my God. Oh my God. Whew. Oh my God. I gotta get in the car. I gotta go get my grandson. Ooh, it's pouring down. Oh my God. What a moment. You guys, I'm soaking wet. I didn't expect for no storm to come. We just had a storm. We just had a storm. Oh no. What am I gonna do now? Okay, let me fix this. We just had a storm. I'm serious. I cut up the trees today. I finally got some of the work done. And so I cleaned up part of the work that was knocked around in my property. Now, let's see. Let me get my seatbelt. Oh my God, it's pouring down. I gotta go get my grandbaby. Let's see, where am I? Where my light at? Where my light? There I am. There I am. Thank you guys for coming in on Bay Solo Channel. We had a special meeting. It was about our expenses that's going out through the whole city. And it had a whole breakdown. I got it inside my coat. Trying not to get it wet. Oh my God. It was a good special meeting. This is where you can answer questions. You know, you can answer all the questions you want, and they can answer you. It's totally different from being in a regular board meeting. This is the type of meeting we're supposed to have had. Hi, Priyadana. Yeah, it's pouring down. I hope you're okay over there. And this is what we're supposed to have. This is the type of meeting that we're supposed to have, two a month, and then where we get to see the finance, the money, the millions and millions of dollars, where they're going. So, yeah, so this is what this meeting was about. Because Mayor Jason House did say, Mayor House did say that we was going to have this meeting, and I see he stuck to his word. And shout out to Amy. Thank you, Amy. You know what I'm talking about. So now I gotta go and get my grandson. But I dropped him at my sister's house because I don't take him to the meetings with me. No. And it's thundering and lightning, everybody. Yes. Thunder and lightning right now. Yeah, it was nice and decent. Laughter. A lot of good questions was asked. It was worth coming out to the meeting. And my main goal was to keep you guys updated with Dolton, because Dalton been, y'all gotta excuse me, Dalton been through so much drama and trauma and devastation. That's why I choose to do my channel, because I live here. And I wanted the community that you want to see that the community is actually trying to get back on its feet, and they're trying to get more grants to help us. And I'm heading to get my grandbaby, then I'm gonna head to my house. I might have to bring my wet vac inside my house. Oh, my gutters are not put up. I have to go put those black, long, look like a cord, hook it to the gutter of my house so the water could be away from my foundation. It's coming down heavy. This rain is not playing. And it's thunder. Oh, it's a puddle too. It's thundering, it's lightning. Oh my God. I knew it was gonna rain, but I didn't think it was gonna come this soon, because it kept changing in the sky. The clouds kept getting darker, then light, darker, then light. Oh, yeah. So I'm not that far from home anyway, so it's like a 5-minute drive. I just gotta go get my poo-poo head. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, his mom is at work. I'm the babysitter. I don't really call myself a babysitter because I took care of all my grandchildren. And right now, I got 2 young ones. The other one, he's in Mississippi with my grandson, because he's there in college football. He got a scholarship. I am so excited for him. And he's in Mississippi University. So that's where my second grandbaby is, and he's only 2 years old. But my other great-grandson, he's 9, so he was the baby for a long time before the 2-year-old came. Yeah, we take care of our family, you know. Yeah, we don't let other people watch our children, only the main ones we know. But, oh my God, look how bad it is out here. My wipers are already going fast. Okay, I made them go faster. Oh my God. All I know, don't get in the right lane. That's where the puddle is. It gets real bad. Sometimes you have to really be careful of driving, because the puddles are in the right lane. So I'm in my left lane right now, people. Yeah. Is anyone gonna stay with me till I get home? In case I have a bad accident, maybe you could track where I'm at. I think I'll be okay. It's just that I normally be in the house at nighttime. I don't be out at night, for real. I am not lying. Unless I'm invited somewhere. And that's not that often. No. Oh, there go the lightning. I just saw it. I think there was lightning that struck my tree, because the tree was good and healthy. And we had a hard time cutting it because it wasn't old. It wasn't rotten. It wasn't, ready to come down. It was a good limb. So the limb part is still laying on my ground because we can't chop it up. We're going to have to figure out something, because I got to make sure it's on the curb by Friday, because I want to get it away from my house. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you. I'm glad that car pulled to the side, because there's no way both of us could fit through here together. I'm going to blow my horn. You guys might hear my horn. I might put it on mute. I'm not getting out the car going to the doorbell. Oh, there's the house right there. The light is on the porch. Yeah, there it is. Got to get my baby. Maybe they'll look out the window. I hope so. I hope so. No, I'm out here. Oh, yeah. I want to go home. I'm ready to go home. I want to get inside. Well, my horn not that bad. Hi, Amy. Amy, hi. Thank you so much. Hi, Aim. It's pouring down. Oh my God, I want to get home. I gotta put my my pipes against my house. She's not hearing me. I guess I have to text her. I'll be right back, people. Right back.